What do I mean when I say insulin sensitivity? Is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? So I'm really glad I got this question because oftentimes I can use terminology that I think everyone understands, but it can actually just make things confusing, so I apologize. In essence, insulin binds to a receptor on the cell, and this causes the cell to begin uptaking nutrients out of the bloodstream, specifically glucose. When the cell responds properly, it's referred to as insulin sensitive. But let's say insulin binds to the receptor on a cell and the cell just doesn't respond and does not uptake glucose out of the bloodstream. This cell is referred to as insulin resistant. This causes an accumulation of macromolecules, specifically glucose, in the bloodstream. And there are two very important consequences of a cell being insulin resistant. The first is that the cells will run low on energy because cells cannot create their own energy. They must uptake it out of the bloodstream. For example, the muscles have a decreased ability to uptake and utilize amino acids that we consume, which is why when an individual is insulin resistant, they begin losing muscle. The other is the fact that there is an accumulation of specifically glucose in the bloodstream. And these glucose molecules inside of the bloodstream can cause vascular damage and many of the deleterious health effects that come alongside diabetes, which is a condition characterized by an inability for our cells to properly uptake glucose and other macronutrients out of the bloodstream. As you may be able to tell, insulin-resistant cells are not healthy, and we want our cells to be insulin sensitive. And now insulin resistance is just a blanket term for a decreased ability to respond properly to insulin. And you can be on a spectrum from mildly insulin resistant to extremely insulin resistant. And this simply depends on the amount of cells inside of your body that are not responding properly to insulin. The more cells in your body that respond properly to insulin, the more insulin sensitive you are. And the less cells that respond properly, the more insulin resistant you would be. And in terms of talking about health and longevity, being insulin sensitive is a good thing. And if you'd like to take control of your health and energy, send me a DM to sign up for coaching.